Bitcoin and Cardano continue to the downside on a Friday evening. What is new? We're in a downtrend, everyone. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly what to anticipate on the short-term charts going into this weekend. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in if you're a replay viewer. Appreciate you cruising by. Check out the timestamps. If you're right now in the live stream, hit the like button for me as I do this video in a downtrend. Do you realize I don't like doing this. I like uptrends. I like all-time highs. I'm just like you, but I sit here and I track the data with you. So hit that like button if you appreciate the content, even if you don't agree. So one thing I'm noticing, and I want to start with this is wow, there is a crazy amount of emotion out there in the markets. There just is. And it's what amazes me about it the most as I kind of sit back, and many of you probably do the same thing. You sit back and you kind of watch, right? The emotion to the downside. It's a bear market. It's a bear market. Like, come on, I can't believe it. And then we bounce. Oh, I hope you guys bought that dip. We're going to all-time highs again. Like, this is literally what social media looks like, Twitter. And then we're coming back down. Sell everything. We're going to $20,000. No. The amount of volatility of emotion is insane because this is a 6-hour chart. So that's number one. So I say that so I can preface this entire video by just saying, everybody, I encourage you, and this is just my approach. Maybe this isn't your style, but like, take a deep breath and chill. Obviously you want to anticipate every scenario. Could we be entering a bear market? Could we? Yeah. Like, if somebody says no, that's ridiculous. We could very well be entering a bear market way sooner, like a half a year sooner than most people in crypto, like 99% of crypto thought. It could happen though. And so be ready for that. Be ready for the scenario. I don't know what your financial situation looks like. I don't know if you're overextended in crypto, but just be prepared. Sit back, come up with a game plan, go sit at a desk in a corner and figure out what you would do in that scenario of a bear market. But I kind of digress from that because we're not there yet, in my opinion. And this is my own technical analysis. This isn't to throw hopium out there. This is me just sitting back in my own time. I'm kind of like observing the charts. I'm observing the data, the same type of indicators and the same type of data that I've used on this YouTube channel for years. I'm continuing to use it. It's consistency on the charts. It's consistency of the data. And that's what I'm going to keep tracking. And there's literally no room for emotion when we're tracking these things. So, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but so let's zoom into the charts and let's talk about it. This is the weekly. There's no secret. There's no secret what the last couple of weeks have given us, right? To the downside, an ultimate dip of like 50% for Bitcoin. Currently, we're down around 40%. It truly is commonplace in a bull market or a bear market, this entire move. I was out to dinner tonight with a friend of mine, a neighbor of mine. He made a great point, and he was just basically like, hey, I forget exactly how he said it, but he said, going into this bull market with where prices are right now, like, are we higher or are we lower than where you thought we would be at this time of the bull market? And it was just such a good question and such a good point, because all I've been talking about, even before we even came to this dip, is the overextension on Bitcoin from the 20-week moving average. I think even here, we were just overextended. I'm like, dude, are we ever going to get pulled back into the 20-week moving average? Just a throwback. We had it multiple times in the last bull market. So to answer the question, what my friend asked me, tonight was, I think now after this dip, we're probably more on par with where I thought we would be at this stage of the bull market. And so this is the one thing that gives me flexibility. And maybe there's a lot of YouTubers and a lot of people out there that are just like, dude, it's the bear market. It's the bear market. They're calling that. And that's fine. That's completely cool. But I think just the overextension, the velocity of Bitcoin entering this bull market, this cool down phase could be a setup for continuation. It really can be. And for me, there's certain things I'm still waiting to see happen on the weekly chart, the daily chart, and I'm just waiting and I'm watching. And you know, a lot of you know what those things are. I've been talking about it in these recent videos. You know, we have obviously the 20-week moving average cross below the 50-day moving average. It's something that happened in the uptrend of the last bull market, so that's not an immediate bear market indicator. I'm pretty zoomed out on the charts here, but you know, it's something we saw at the top of the last bear market, but we also saw it in the middle of the last bear market, all the way back here on the chart, all the way to the left of the screen. I know I'm so zoomed out, but so that's obviously happening, right? It's not pretty on the daily chart. There's no question it's not pretty. We're under the 200-day moving average here. You can look at Bitcoin. We're just in this downtrend on the RSI, but there's some things too to wait for. And that's when we start zooming in on the charts right now, because this is what Bitcoin does, right? We have these drops and we have to wait for the structure. It's the same thing when we're getting all-time highs back here. I talk about it all the time when we're in like price discovery, and I'm just like, dude, we have to wait for structure now. We have to wait for consolidation. And we get it. Eventually we get the structure, and now we're in a downtrend. And we have to wait for structure. At least I have to wait personally, so I can track these charts without emotion. And you simply have to be patient for structure. I do want to point out something on the daily chart. You know, a lot of people are comparing what's really happened lately, a very similar move to what happened last March. And if one thing that's interesting, if you look at the move into oversold territory on the RSI in the middle of the screen, this slower moving momentum oscillator, the move of Bitcoin coming out of that oversold area, you know, it was kind of a very similar vibe. It was just very shaky towards the bottom of this area. You know, we bounced initially, came back up, we're coming back down. People probably calling for it to continue down. And it's actually even the same thing at the bottom of the last bear market. Truly, we hit that first like just swing low. It was the lowest of the bear market. We got this bounce out of it. And then we came back and we had to test another swing low. And people were saying, dude, this is it. We're going to 2000. And look, that was actually the end of the bear market. This is why, zoomed in on these charts, we watch for the structure and we watch for the move and the flow of Bitcoin. And here we are now. It's just, for me, yes, we got a dip, but this is Bitcoin. It dips all the time. 40% dips, 50% dips. It happens. And so this is what I'm tracking. And I want to zoom in. I don't want to make this too long of a video. And dude, look at that. I glance over at the chats. There's so much emotion. Somebody said, sell, sell, sell. I need moderators. I have to figure out how to get moderators, guys. It's incredible. I'm trying to, it's crazy. All right, so let's zoom in. Let's talk about what Bitcoin is doing right now. And I want to start from this video from 4 days ago. So that's what we're looking at. This is the resistance that we have right now for Bitcoin. And we're looking at it. You can see the 6-hour wicking into this resistance, lower high resistance, 38,100. We can call it 38,000 to 40,000. That's our resistance area, 38,000 to 40,000. If Bitcoin can break, so what happened at that area? Bitcoin failed to break the area, and look how long it took. It took days, Bitcoin testing that area, you know, before it comes down, before we get rejection. And you can see we got the rejection. And this is where we are now on the flip side. We were cruising up, and this is when we were cruising up, and people were like, dude, that was it. That was the bounce. You know, I hope you bought the dip. Like, people are just crazy hype. I'm doing caution videos because we want to see this area break, and it didn't break. And now we're coming down, and people are doing the same thing on the flip side. Sell everything. We're going to 20,000. And so I'm in the same position using a Fibonacci, which many of you know is probably my favorite tool in terms of indicators. So we take that initial dip that we had on the 23rd to this resistance up here, and now we have the Fibonacci to the downside, a 618 line at around 34,800 to the 786 line around 33,200. That's current support down to $33,200 for Bitcoin. This is structure. This is the setup. We talk about it all the time. Bitcoin kind of bouncing around between these Fibonaccis as we form structure on these charts. So that's what I'm waiting for. What will structure look like? Will Bitcoin hold support now that we're there? And will we get a bounce? And you can see right now what is forming is a potential symmetrical triangle. I mean, it really is at this point, with pretty much 3 touches to the upper trend line, 2 to the bottom trend line, potentially maybe even this evening, a 3rd touch to the bottom trend line. We have the apex kind of over here in a few days or so, like what is that, 4 days, 5 days. And we have to allow Bitcoin to consolidate. And that's just kind of where my head's at right now. There can be YouTubers that make this very dramatic. This dip that we're in, they can make it very dramatic, and they can say we're entering a bear market, everybody. The cycles have changed. I'm just not that person. And I don't do it, for hopium. But, right now we use the zoomed in indicators, and dude, the chats are a mess right now. The chats are absolutely a mess. You guys are in denial, somebody says. I'm gonna find some mods to help me out with this channel. So I want to pivot over to Cardano. This is Bitcoin, everybody. It's consolidating. If you can't handle it, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the kitchen. This is what Bitcoin does, and you got to be prepared for everything. If support fails, I should note, if the Fibonacci support fails, then we start getting bearish confirmations. But right now, it's consolidating after a pretty massive dip, and we have to allow the structure to form for Bitcoin. Going over to Cardano, you know me, I'm just zoomed out on the Cardano's charts. Bear market, bull market, I'm building, I'm accumulating. That's my approach to Cardano. I don't know about you. It seems like there's a lot of people, and I would assume that the people, even in the chats that you see right now online, that are just so negative, that are so extremely emotional, are the people that are just short term. They're looking to, they want just that quick, give me the 100%, 200%, 300%, 400% gains, nothing more. They're not here long term. But if you're a builder, if you're an accumulator, and you are here long term, you get the zoomed out weekly charts. And this is what it looks like. This is Cardano building just probably the most cutting edge technology in crypto. And so we can start zooming in right now. Even you can even see on the weekly 20-week moving average, Cardano still above, consolidating above, right around $1.50. We start zooming in. This is what the daily charts look like. The most interesting thing on the daily charts to me is really, obviously we've come below the $1.50 area, but as Cardano forms its own structure here, alongside Bitcoin forming its structure that we just talked about, the $1.50 range is just it's so cool to me, because we just did so much technical analysis about rejection at $1.50 before finally breaking above. And now we're coming back down, and you can see we're interacting with $1.50, and it's like, is it going to be support now? And it's something I'm watching. It's something I'm tracking. And every time we're below it, even just a few minutes ago, my question is it going to be more resistance now? So it's a really interesting data point on the screen, not to mention just shy of $1.50, just slightly below is the $1.33 area, the all-time high from 2018. So it's actually a really cool area to track on the charts. That's alongside everything else we're talking about. But you can see Cardano just above the $1.50 area right now, just above, and you can see even more interesting, the 50-day moving average pretty much almost exactly confluent with $1.50 at this point for the first time. So $1.50 is going to be a good area to watch for Cardano as we continue to track via technical analysis, non-emotional technical analysis. Everybody, if you appreciate the non-emotional aspect of crypto and how we can approach these markets, how you can be like, sure, maybe we enter bear market, or sure, maybe we go to all-time highs in the next 2 weeks, and you can be non-emotional and you can just simply have your plan. If you appreciate that, just hit the like button right now, because that's where it's at, everybody. And I say that with passion because, my early days as an investor, I was probably the most emotional there was. So, when I use that word emotional, it's because I've been there, everybody. It's not because I'm some amazing, person that just never had emotion in it as an investor. It's because I've been there. And you have to learn to not do that. You have to learn to approach these markets differently, and you will win. You will succeed. You truly will. And it's all about anticipating. This isn't about predicting. It's about preparing. So that's what we're doing. And we use the data on the screen. We use the setups on the screen, the formation and the structure. And that's what we do. We prepare. Let's start with a video from 2 days ago, a very quick clip about Cardano, May 26th. You know, it's not something that we want to see happen. I get it. But how many times do we talk about dips and then the dip happens? And not only are we ready mentally so that we're not freaking out, but we're ready to watch for support. We're on our toes. Like, we are ready. And if people are keen to buy a 25% dip, so this is Cardano the other day, 2 days ago. We're at $1.69. This was kind of in the middle of that hype phase. All the people in the chats right now that are, they're just freaking out, telling everybody to sell. Probably the same people that were just hype on crypto right now, telling everybody to buy because we're going to all new all-time highs. Wow, I'm tired. And then we came down. We're on our way down, and this is exactly it. This is the setup of formation of structure, and so this is Cardano on the 6-hour at that Fibonacci resistance, coming back down now from $1.69 when I was doing that video. And currently we're at $1.51. So we're not even at the Fibonacci support area that I talked about in this video 2 days ago. This is the support area, and this is a 100% normal area. It's not a fun area at all. It's right around $1.35 to around $1.20. That's the support area for Cardano right now. If markets continue to the downside, what happens here? And it's the same thing as Bitcoin. I mean, the setup is the same. They're both forming these consolidation patterns. And on the way up, I said, be careful. Don't get too bullish. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we get the bullish confirmation and break through separation to the upside. And now that we're on the downside, I'm saying to you, let's see what happens when we approach the flip side, the Fibonacci support. Don't get too emotional. Don't get too scared. Don't get too bearish. Let's wait to see what happens. The same way we got resistance at this Fibonacci, we may get support at this Fibonacci. And we wait for potential bearish confirmation, a breakthrough and separation from that Fibonacci support area. And what it looks like on the screen is that swing low to swing high. And there it is. It's just the typical ping pong type of bouncing back and forth, getting squeezed in the middle of some type of pattern, oftentimes symmetrical triangles. I don't know how long some of you have been watching my videos, but like, how long have we tracked these setups where we bounce around and we get squeezed in between these Fibonacci's, and then we've worked our way into the apex of a symmetrical triangle, and then we're tracking, wow, which way we're breaking out, upside, downside. And we just have to be patient. We have to wait for that. So, this is just my update video. I'm not here to sit here. I know there's a lot of stuff out there right now saying, talking about bear market, bull market. I'm really not here to do that. I wanted to zoom in a little bit on the charts, track what's going on. I want to tell you, I don't enjoy this at all. I really don't. Actually, you go to a Bitcoin chart. I started the YouTube channel here. And I did videos pretty much every day in the bear market, pretty much every single day. And I looked very much forward to the bull market. We got that nice little bounce, remember, in summer of 19, but we weren't done, right, with the downtrend. And it's just like all of this mess doing videos every day. Finally, we're entering just this awesome phase. And it's like, dude, Bitcoin, crypto, give me at least a year. Give me a year of just fun, all-time high, new all-time high videos, and we're good. And it's like, what did I have? What do we have so far? Like 5 or 6 months, and all of a sudden we're already here. So trust me, my point is, I don't enjoy it. I really don't enjoy downtrends. I'm just like you. I'm long on crypto. I'm not shorting crypto. The most I'm doing, if crypto does enter a bear market, is I'm accumulating and I'm building, and I'll be here every day doing videos, talking to you, talking through it with you, because that's what I'm here for. That's why I started this YouTube channel, to track this stuff. I'm here long term. It's a really just insanely awesome space to grow in, to build in. And that's the whole point. The cycles are volatile. The cycles can be very emotional. And if we can just kind of track this in a non-emotional way, I think we can all really set ourselves up for success in the long term. And I truly do. I know I'm saying there's a lot of emotional people out there. I truly know most of you out there you're not emotional, and most of you out there are trying to think long term. And that's what I'm here to do that with you and alongside of you, and get better at doing that with you. So that's what we're tracking. We have the support for Bitcoin and Cardano. For Bitcoin right now, in case you missed it, I have to actually redraw that, but that's my memory drawing. Look how off that was. We have our support area for Bitcoin right around 33,200 at the 786 to 34,800 at the 618. Let's track it. We're at the 618 literally right now. We just bounced off of it. Let's see what Bitcoin does. Let's see how it interacts with that area. On Cardano, we will see how it interacts with its own area. You can see the 618 right around $1.35 to the 786 around $1.20, $1.21. So that's what I'm going to be tracking. Let's see what happens going to the weekend. Who knows? We start crashing through. I'll be here, probably doing a live stream, tracking it with you. And if you're a Cardano holder, you know what I'm about to shill. I'm about to shill it if it comes up on the screen. CCV2, our third stake pool, we just launched like a week ago. We're at 19 million ADA. Appreciate your support as we grow these. It's like incredibly cool. And this is what's awesome about Cardano. If you are going to stick around, whether the bear market's tomorrow, 6 months, or a year, you can just simply accumulate passive Cardano as rewards in the stake pool. Don't risk your ADA. It's not locked in. And you can just build that way. I mean, what better ecosystem in crypto right now than to have a mechanism like that? And at the same time, taking part in the protocol itself, taking part in the consensus algorithm. It doesn't get any more better than that if you are trying to accumulate crypto. And, I appreciate everybody that does delegate with me as we grow these pools. And we're going to be doing some really cool things for people that need help. So thanks everybody for hanging out. Let's see what the night brings. I'm going to go relax. I just want to go relax. I'm tired. What a crazy long week. If you're here right now, hit that like button. Appreciate you. Hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I really appreciate your support as we grow this YouTube channel. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.